What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. This is the third video for today, and we're going to be doing an early review of the newest mini box, Visions of Ice. So this box just got data mined today along with the release of the new Battle City Showdown event, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on all these cards and all that stuff. So on the right, you guys could see, the proof that this is legit, the Visions of Ice little, like artwork and stuff like that. There's like it's really hard for someone to Photoshop that, most likely. And then also on the bottom of that, you're going to see a confirmed card list, and that confirmed card list is all the cards that are guaranteed to be in this box, because we're on this Imager link. Shout out to XOF for posting all of these cards. But yeah, these are all data mined from him too, and he did confirm a whole list of all the cards that are going to be in this thing, but there's also a lot of other cards just in this list that are for other random things. So we're just going to be talking about cards mostly from the mini box, then we're going to be talking about cards like, Dark, Burning, and Magic. That's not in this mini box. But let's get on to today's mini box review. So as you guys can see on the right hand of your screen somewhere, wherever I edit this, you're going to see in the artwork is going to be White Knight Dragon, and then there's Tricky, which are going to be the two URs that we're going to be getting from this new mini box. So the Tricky, if you guys didn't know already, this is a 5-star wind spellcaster with the effect you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding one card. Has 2,000 attack and 1,200 defense. I really like Tricky. Tricky is a really cool card, and adding this card into Duel Links is going to be really cool, because that's a 2,000 monster that you get to special summon. So, sure, you have to pitch a card, you got to go send a card to the graveyard, but I mean, that's a 2,000 beat stick, just like that. I might see there might be some, shenanigan beatdown decks and some other crazy combos with the Tricky. And it's also a win attribute, which is interesting too. But I'm excited for the Tricky. Tricky might be a card that definitely get more copies of. So next up, we got White Knight Dragon. And I did already talk about this in my rumor list, which is really interesting. I gotta mention, on that rumor video that I made, there was a lot of cards on that rumor list that were coming into Duel Links, while they weren't the level 45 and 43 rewards that we got. Like, a card like White Knight Dragon was actually in that rumor list, but it's actually going to be in a box. Anyways, so since the text is too long in here, we're going to go on Google White Knight Dragon, and we're going to go take a look at that real quick. So let's go find just a random picture. This is what I usually do. This is the first time I'm recording this on my PC. And I don't really have like a format for this yet compared to when I used to record through my phone. But nonetheless, though, we got White Knight Dragon right here. This is a water 8-star dragon with the effect, during either player's turn, when a spell trap card that targets this card is activated, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. That's really powerful right there. Targeting this guy, not gonna work. When another face-up monster you control is targeted for attack, you can send a spell and trap card you control to the graveyard and change the attack target to this card. This is a 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense. So here's a couple things that are really interesting about this card. One, it's a dragon, and the first thought that popped in my head is that you could special summon this card with Kid Moto Dragon. There's some probably like better alternatives, like you can probably use cards from the the structure deck that came out recently, the Dragon Structure deck. You could probably use that to special summon White Knight Dragon easier, but it is a dragon, so it has that dragon's energy. It has 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense. What's really useful about that is that Kaiba's new level 45 reward is that, I forgot what the exact spell is called, and since I don't remember the name, I'm not going to search it up right now. But what his 45 reward is that you can discard a card and then add up to 2 dragon monsters that have 3,000 attack or more, or 2,500 defense or less. Which means you can search White Knight Dragon with that card right here. It's some like calling of the dragons or something like that. But if you go to Seto Kaiba, go to his level 45 reward, you can search out for White Knight Dragon. Overall, I'm pretty excited for this card. I really like the artwork. While I hate like ice and snow in real life, I really like seeing artwork related to like ice and stuff like that. That's why Dance Princess of the Waifu is like the best card ever. I don't know. I really like these like ice themes and stuff like that. So this White Knight Dragon is a really cool artwork. I really like the blue and all that stuff. So overall, I'm excited to get some copies of White Knight Dragon. So these are the 2 URs from the mini box. Got those URs down, and let's go on to the next card. So this card, I'm not too sure why this is in here. Possibly, I haven't been into the battle. I haven't checked the Battle City event yet because I'm saving I'm gonna be playing through the Battle City event with you guys on the channel, so I'm gonna wait till I like dive into that until I start recording for that. But possibly Dark Burning Magic is gonna be like a card that like Yugi uses in his pre-belt deck if we ever have to face him in the Battle City event. But Dark Burning Magic is a quick play spell card. If you control monsters, the original names are Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. Destroy all cards your opponent controls. This card is really powerful. Like, it is a strong card. I think this card's more useful in the TCG because it's a lot easier to get Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician on the board. But still, at the same time, no, you can kind of combo it like this. You can tribute summon for Dark Magician Girl, play Sage's Stone, especially summon a Dark Magician, and then play Dark Burning and Magic. So, yeah, I mean, this is still a viable card. Throw cards your opponent controls. I'm assuming, though, this is some, like, pre-built, or it's in, like, a Yugi deck or an Arcana if we face him in the Battle City event, but I don't believe we do in this current event right now, but that's there right here. We also have another UR card that isn't on the confirmed list for this mini box, and it is Magical Dimension. If you control a spellcaster type monster, target one monster you control, tribute that target, and then special summon one spellcaster type monster from your hand, then you can destroy one monster on the field. So yeah, this card is pretty powerful right here because yeah, you get to pitch one of your spellcaster monsters. Some spellcasters have effects where when they get sent to the graveyard, you can do that. Like, I know your boy Blue Dragon Summoner, as long as he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can do that. So that's really cool right there. And then you can special summon one from your hand and then destroy a monster in the field. So that would be crazy because with Magical Dimension and Blue Dragon Summoner, you pitch Blue Dragon Summoner, even though it's like a really old card, but you do that, you play Magical Dimension, special summon a Dark Magician from your hand, and then pop monster on your opponent's side of the board. That is crazy, but I don't know. I feel like these two cards are just for like a Yugi's deck in the Battle City event. I don't think these are going to be attainable anytime soon. Next up, though, is this. This is confirmed on the list. I have the list pulled up with me right now, but this is Treacherous Trap Hole. If you have no trap cards in the graveyard, target two monsters on the field and destroy those targets. Sadly, this can't work against Hazy because it says target, but this trap seems really powerful because like we've been getting swarmed so much in this meta. I feel like Treacherous Trap Hole definitely has a place in this game right now, and that might be a card to definitely pick up. Now, what's going to be interesting, too, is that players are going to now keep playing around having multiple monsters on the field, that's for sure. But, I mean, still, I feel like this might shake up the game just a tad bit, because players might be playing around this trap. And if this card isn't used and nobody's playing around Treacherous Trap Hole, well, you can surprise your opponent with it. So, overall, I think this card's pretty decent. Pretty decent. Okay, next card we're going to be talking about is Spellbook of Light. Now, I'm going to have to go Google this card real quick because the Imager covered some of the text. So let's go to Oops, I am just there we go. Spellbook of Life. We're going to go check this out. Now, I know someone in my comments section, you know who you are, told me to research Spellbooks a little bit before I made this video, but yeah, I just want to get this video recording now, and I started doing that. So let's go check out these spellbooks. So yeah, these are all new to me. I'm not really sure too much about spellbooks, but let's just read this nonetheless. So Spellbook of Life is a spell card, and it's an equipped spell card. Banish one spellcaster monster from your graveyard and reveal another spellbook card in your hand to target one spellcaster type monster in your graveyard. So there is multiple other spellbook cards that we haven't got into yet, like Spellbook of Secrets and Spellbooks of Magicians of Prophecy. But yeah, you can banish a spellcaster from your graveyard to then reveal a spellbook card in your hand. So and then you can target one spellcaster monster in your graveyard and special summon it at that target and face-up attack position and equip it with this card. The equipped monster's level is increased by the level of the monster that's banished for this card's activation. You only can activate a Spellbook of Life per turn. That is an interesting equip spell right there. Now the thing is, though, you need a lot of spellcasters in your grave to start really popping off with these effects, but maybe when we read through some of the other spellbook cards, I can definitely see like where all the combos and stuff like that, because spellbooks are all new to me, and yeah, I probably should have researched about this, but I hit the record button, and now we're going on it. Next up, though, we got Spellbook of Secrets. You can add a spellbook card from your deck to your hand, except Spellbook of Secrets, and you only can activate one Spellbook of Secrets per turn. This card is just really good because you could just straight up search for any spellbook card. Man, this is a really good card. You might want to be running 3 copies of this simply because it's just a solid search. You don't need to pitch anything. You don't need to do anything. You just play the card and add a spellbook to your hand. So overall, if you're going to play spellbooks, definitely run Spellbook of Secrets. There we go. Now we got some of the other guys. So now we got Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. This is a 2-star water spellcaster with the effect. When this card's normal summoned or flipped face up, add a Spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. So yeah, you could probably use Spellbook Magician of Prophecy to search for, yeah, like Spellbook of Life, and then you can use Spellbook of Life to banish that spellcaster, and then you can target a different spellcaster from your graveyard. So you'll probably be pitching this guy to the banish zone to then pop out with whatever other spellcaster you want to decide to do. So Spellbook of Magician of Prophecy, pretty good. Now we have another card called Spellbook of Eternity. This is an end card, but I'm assuming, while it isn't on the confirmed list, I'm gonna assume that this is going to be part of this mini box, just because, I mean, it's a spellbook card, and, you know, this mini box is introducing spellbooks, so I'm going to assume this Spellbook of Eternity is in the mini box, even though it's not on the confirmed list from XOF. Anyways, though, this card states target one of your banished spellbook spell cards except Spellbook of Eternity. Add that target to your hand. You only can activate a Spellbook Eternity per turn. Interesting right there. So I haven't, where was anything with banishing? Because I don't think you banished any of your... Oh, no, you can banish your Spellbook Monsters, huh? No, but it says target one of your Spellbook banished cards. Not too sure why they have this in here. It is an end card, so I don't know. Next up, we have Spellbook of Power. This is on the confirmed list. We're going to have to research this, though, because it is... it is covered up a little bit, so we're gonna go use this one. So Spellbook of Power, target a spellcaster type monster you control to the end phase, it gains 1,000 attack. Also, until the end of the phase, each time it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add a Spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. You only can activate one Spellbook of Power per turn. Wow, this card is actually pretty neat right there. So yeah, you give one of your spellcasters 1,000 attack, which is a pretty good amount, and if you do destroy an opponent's monster by battle, you can add another spellbook card from your hand. And it doesn't say that you can still add another Spellbook of Power for some extra firepower, or you can add Spellbook of Life, you can add one of the searchers to thin out your deck. It doesn't specify, it just straight up says you just search whatever you want, bro. So yeah, Spellbook of Power is a pretty solid card. It is only a rare though, so I don't know how many people are going to play it. Maybe like a one-off in the deck possibly. Because I mean, 1,000 attack is nothing too bad, and you get the search out, you can thin out your deck. So I could see Spellbook of Power seeing a decent amount of play. Now we got another Spellbook card. It's Spellbook of, is it The Master? Yep. Let's go check this one out. So this card has some interesting art. So Spellbook of the Master. If you control a spellcaster type monster, you can reveal another spellbook card in your hand, then target a spellbook normal card in your graveyard except Spellbook of the Master. This card effect becomes that target's effect. You only can activate one Spellbook of the Master per turn. Okay, so this is just kind of like, you can use any of your spellbooks in the graveyard, and then you can use this for like any of them, which is kind of neat. I guess now I'm getting in my head, it's like, why not try, I don't know, a 30-card deck, Spellbook of the Master, I mean, Spellbook Dead, play that Grasslick Screener for the meme. That might be a fun deck to goof around with, but yeah, I'm pretty uneducated with the Spellbook stuff, but it seems like this card, I don't know how much people would really want to play this card, but the fact that you can kind of just like, basically use this as a substitute for any of your Spellbook cards as long as they're in the graveyard, if I'm reading it right. Yeah, you can control a spellcaster type monster, you can reveal another spellbook card in your hand, and then target a spellbook normal card in your graveyard except spellbook and that. Okay, but you still need to have another spellbook in your card in your hand so you can use those effects. So I don't know how I feel about that card. Not too sure. Next up, though, we have a Spellgate, Spellbook of Fate. I think that's where it ends, and I think I can be fine. If you control a spellcaster-type monster, you could banish up to 3 Spellbook spell cards from your graveyard. So, yeah, that's when you can use this Spellbook of Eternity right there. Also, I forgot to mention, yeah, Spellbook of the Master isn't on the confirmed list, but I'm assuming it is. It's going to be in the mini box. But yeah, Spellbook of Fate banishes those spellbook cards, so then you could, you know, use Spellbook of Eternity if you really wanted to target one of your banished spells. But I don't know if you would really want to do that. Nonetheless, let's get back to Spellbook of Fate. You can banish up to 3 spellbook spell cards from your graveyard. Apply this effect depending on the number. Okay, we do have to search that. Spellbook of Fate. Actually has more text than I thought. So yeah, if you you can banish up to 3 spellbook spell cards from your graveyard. Apply this effect depending on the number of spell cards banished for this card's activation. You only can activate 1 spellbook of fate per turn. 1, return 1 set spell or trap card from the field to the hand. That's a good effect right there. 2, change a monster on the field to face down defense position or face attack position. That's another good one too. Or you can banish 1 card your opponent controls. Wow, and this is only a rare? Bro, this is a solid card. Now, you do need to banish 3 spellbooks, though, which is the downside of this card. But, I mean, I don't know. This card's, it's a really powerful effect. It's a really powerful effect that you can use right here. So, I'm not too sure. Would you want to play Lightsworns with spellbooks? I think some Lightsworns are spellcasters, if I remembered. I don't know, but still, this card is really good, but the downside is you need to have 3 spellbooks in your graveyard to even activating it. Oh, wait. Oh, it's up to 3 spellbook cards. Never mind, I didn't read that right. It's up to. So, honestly, yo, I think it would be a good card to just tech in, just in general, maybe playing like 2 to 3 copies of, simply because it says up to 3 spellbook cards. And you can also use one of your Spellbook of Fate already in the graveyard to then keep going on there. So I think actually Spellbook of Fate might be a card you definitely want to run in the deck. Very interesting right there. Now it isn't, I don't think it's on the confirmed list, but like I said, all of these Spellbook cards most likely going to be in the same main box. Next up we're going to check out Spellbook Library of the Crescent. Let's go check this one right here. There's actually 2 Spellbook Library cards. Interesting. So, if you have no Spellbook spell cards in your graveyard, you can reveal 3 Spellbook spell cards with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly adds one of them to your hand and then shuffle the rest back into your deck. You only can activate 1 Spellbook of Library Crescent per turn. You cannot activate any spells the turn you activate this card except Spellbook spell cards. That's not a bad searcher, to be honest. So, it has to be different names, but I think still Spellbook of the Library of the Crescent is a good searcher. I just don't know, like, how you would want to have the deck built, you know? Let's go to the other one that we seen right there, the Helosphere. Go check this one out. So if you have 5 or more Spellbook spell cards in your graveyard, you can excavate up the top 2 cards of your deck and then add any excavated Spellbook spell cards to your hand. Also shuffle other spell cards or other cards into the deck. You only can activate 1 Spellbook Library of the Helosphere per turn. You cannot activate any spell cards the turn you activate this card except Spellbook spell cards. Interesting right there. So yeah, excavating, yo, are they trying to say you should play some excavate Sylvans over here? Oh god, that would just be a meme right there, dude. Dude, oh my god, that would be such a meme. I don't think Spellbooks have any synergy with Sylvans, but the fact that it says excavate right there, you can excavate some Sylvans, hopefully, you know, excavate some marsh leaves. Oh no, like dude, you can tech in like 3 marsh leaves in your random Spellbook deck or whatever, and just why not? If you excavate the marsh leaves, sweet, you kill a monster. But if you play Spellbook Library and, you know, excavate a you know, or spell card or whatever. Oh no, actually no, it wouldn't work. Never mind, I got into that tangent. No, it's shuffle the other cards back into the deck. Never mind, scratch that. That would have been dumb if that was the case, but I didn't realize this thing right here. Shuffle the other cards into the deck. So yeah, Sylvans only activate if they get sent to the graveyard from the excavation. So I'm just memeing right there. Another card that we have, Mage Power. Is this one of the confirmed ones? It is Mage Power. Oh, this one is pretty powerful in the TCG, but probably not as powerful in the Duel Links meta. But Mage Power, equip spell card for the equip monster, gains 500 attack and defense for each spell and trap card you control. Sadly, that means that you're only going to get 1500 attack. But on the bright side, with Mage Power, if you equip 3 Mage Powers onto one boy, he's getting a 4500% or boost, because since Mage Power just says each spell trap card you control, and also you can count the field spell too. So that's a total of like, what is it? Yeah, so it gains 500 attack and defense. If you had 3 Mage Powers and the field spell right there, I think your character or your monster would gain 6,000 attack points. So I guess for the meme you could do that. Overall though, Mage Power is not a terrible card. Giving 1500 attack to your one of your monsters if you really wanted to, and, you know, have some back row and the, you know, chilling over here. Mage Power is alright. Nothing crazy though. Nothing too crazy. Here's another card that is on the confirmed list. Chain Disciple. Chain Disciple? I'm mispronouncing that word, but still, let's go read this trap card's effect. When a spell / trap card is activated, destroy all cards in the controller's deck with the same name as the activated card. Wow. Now, there's a reason why it's an end card, but this might definitely throw some people off. Wow. That's a very interesting card. I mean, we kind of are like not in that much of a back row meta as we used to, so this card might not be powerful, but I can definitely see Chain Disciple being a useful card either somehow now or in the future. That might be a card that you might be able wanting to tech in into your deck, especially if you're playing tournaments and people give you a side deck. Maybe. Let's go check out Tribute to Ritual or Burial. This is a confirmed card on the list. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. Once during this turn, you can conduct a tribute summon that requires 2 tributes by banishing 1 monster from each graveyard it's attributing, but still treated as a tribute summon. That's actually a really cool card. I really like that. It's pretty basic. You just summon a ritual or a not ritual, a tribute monster, straight off the bat like that. So I don't know. I think Tribute Rich Burial might be a pretty decent card. I think some people can build some really creative decks with that. Next up, we're going to be talking about Blizzard Princess. Blizzard Princess was also another card on the rumor list that was like, the rumors said that Blizzard Princess was going to be one of Alexis's, level up rewards, but that is not the case. Blizzard Princess is going to be in the box. Now, I guess I don't need to search up Blizzard Princess because I think I remember a fact that she is an 8-star water spellcaster, and you can tribute this card in face-up attack position by tributing 1 spellcaster monster, and then after this card was normal summon, your opponent cannot activate any spell and traps. I believe that's what the effect was with Blizzard Princess. This has an attack of 2,800 and a defense of 2,100, so pretty interesting card. This is a spellcaster, so it could possibly synergize with the spellbook stuff, but when I mentioned this card in my rumor list, I was like, maybe this has some, lore with Dance Princess of the Ice Bear because she's a princess and all that stuff, and I was just memeing on with that stuff. But yeah, we have Blizzard Princess right here. Very cute looking card. Now we got some more cards right here. We have Cold Enchanter. I don't think I need to search up this card right here. Water, 4-star Aqua. With the effect, you can discard 1 card that target a face-up monster on the field. Place an ice counter on that target. This card can surrender attack for each ice counter on the field. That's actually pretty decent. It's only an end card at 1,600 attack. Now, it depends on how many ice counters you can, keep popping on the board. But, I mean, if you get a lot of ice counters on the board, that Cold Enchanter is gaining some attack, that's for sure. Next up, we have Ice Master. I'm going to have to search this card up. Ice Master Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's go check this out real quick. Here we go. Nope, not that one. There's a decent, resolution. There's a decent one. Ice Master is an 8-star water spellcaster. With the effect, you can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 2 water monsters. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. Place an ice counter on the target. You can tribute this card and destroy all monsters with ice counters. Interesting. So this is going to be an easy summon because you can tribute 2 water monsters for that, and then you can target monsters on the board and place ice counters on the target. So if you can't get over that monster with Ice Master, you could just nuke it and nuke the other card on the field. So pretty interesting right there. Ice counters might be a very interesting card, a deck to deal with. Next up, we're going to go on to Ice Queen. Oops, nope, that is not what we need. I forgot to put Yu-Gi-Oh right there. Got to black out that real quick, lol. Next up, though, we got Ice Queen. This is an 8-star water spellcaster. With the effect, cannot be special summoned from the graveyard. When this face-up card you control is destroyed and sent to your graveyard, you can target 1 spell card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. You must have 3 or more spellcaster type monsters in the graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I mean, the effect where you can't special summon from the graveyard, it's kind of random, but they just don't want you to recycle this card somehow. And then yeah, if it is destroyed into the graveyard, you can target a spell card in your graveyard, add it to that hand, which is nice, but you have to have 3 spellcasters in your grave to even activate this effect in the first place. I don't know, this effect's alright, but I don't think it's anything really crazy that you should be looking out for, so meh. Next up, we have Dragon Ice. I believe this is one of the other confirmed cards, so let's go check this out. There we go. So we're going to go on to Dragon Ice real quick. So this is a 5-star water dragon with the effect when your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can discard 1 card, special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. There can only be one Dragon Ice on the field. So yeah, it's a really easy special summon. What I kind of like about this mini box is that they're adding some like cards that you can easily special summon with. We have the Tricky, and now we have Dragon Ice. I'm not too sure, but I believe you can summon Dragon Ice if you have Legendary Ocean on the board. I think it will lower its level by 1 because it's a water monster. I guess we can go check that real quick, but yeah, let me go check that real quick. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary Ocean. I believe it's all waters? All water monsters gain 200 attack and defense, reduce the level of all water monsters. Yeah, so you can summon Dragonite straight off the bat if you really wanted to. With Legendary Ocean, I think there's better alternatives to that, but that's just one option that just popped up in my head. Next up, though, okay, so these are not in the mini box. These are going to be the Elegant Mai's rewards and stuff like that. And I guess I could talk about them right now since we're already recording this video, but these are the Elegant Mai rewards. And first of all, we have Amazonas Princess. So let's go check out this real quick. Amazonas Princess. There we go. So, Amazon's Princess is a 3-star Earth Warrior with the effects card becomes Amazon's Queen while on the field or graveyard. If this card's normal special summon, you can add an Amazon's spell / trap from your deck to your hand. You only can use the effect of Amazon's Princess once per turn. When this card declares an attack, you can send one other card from your hands or graveyard to the graveyard, or from your hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon an Amazon's monster from your deck in defense position except Amazon's Princess. So yeah, this is another card that was on the rumor list that was going to potentially be one of Mai's like level up rewards. But now it's going to be in an event. So, like, that rumor list it's pretty interesting of all the cards that were on that list. And they're going to potentially be in the game. Or they're going to be in the game at some point. So, that's really cool. And this card's really solid, too. You can add an Amazon's spell or trap card from your hand, which is really cool. This card's name become Amazon's Queen, and I think that combos with some other Amazon's cards. I'm unfamiliar with Amazoness, but we might be seeing some Amazoness in the meta real soon, so I'm going to get more familiar with the deck, that's for sure. And yeah, and then when it declares an attack, you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard and then special summon an Amazoness from your deck in defense position. Like, that's some speedy stuff right there. Like, this is going to be interesting right here. We also have Amazon's Queen. This card is a level 45 reward from Mai. So yeah, Amazon's Queen's a really good card right there. Next up, we have Spicy Spy, which is like, okay, Spy. Okay, is this not a card that people know? Not me. Okay, here we go. This might be a newer card. Anyway, Spicy Spy is a fire 3-star warrior with the effect. If this card is normal summon, look at one random card in your opponent's deck. If it has 2,000 or more attack, this card gains 1,000 attack. If it has less than 2,000 attack, gain equal life points equal to the monster's attack. That is a random card, but I like it because it kind of surprises your opponent because you're going to see what, type of extra deck they're playing. But I mean, to be honest, if you're going to see it, you know what your opponent's going to be playing in their extra deck. Like, let's be real here, guys. It's most likely Destiny Heroes. That's like the top deck right now. But still, that's just an instant 2,200 monster that's at 3 stars. So, I don't know. Pretty cool spy card right there. Now, this card, I believe... I don't know why this card's in here. Maybe this is another reward that we get from Mai, and if so, that is kind of wild. But this is Shino Baron Peacock. So I guess we can go check this card out here. Shino Baron Peacock. So I think this is a really good one, too. So this is a Winged Beast, Ritual Spirit with the effect. You can ritual summon this card with Shino Baron's Calling. Must be ritual summoned and cannot be special summoned by otherwise. If this card's ritual summoned, you can return up to 3 monsters your opponent controls to the hand. And then you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower spirit monster from your hand, ignoring the summoning conditions. Once per turn, during the end phase, if this card is special summoned this turn, return to the hand. And if you do summon 2 Shino Bird tokens, and they are level 4, 1,500 attack, 1,500 defense. Interesting card right there. You can return yeah, this is like an OTK card. That's for sure. I can kind of see why people are saying that Shino Birds are low-key pretty powerful, because yeah, you straight up can just return a bunch of them cards to the hand with this one specifically. And if you somehow don't destroy your opponent while it is getting returned to you, you can still have some Shino Bird tokens on the board. And if those Shino Bird tokens stay alive, and if you have another Shino Bird's Calling, you can just ritual summon Peacock again and just keep attacking. So That's a powerful card right there. I'm not too sure if it's going to be in the Mai event, but it's there to be there, it looks like. So now we got Gravity. Yeah, it looks like Gravity Crush Dragon isn't in the game just yet. So let's go Gravity Crush Dragon. Okay, so this card is a 6-star Dark Dragon with the effect you can send a face-up continuous spell card you control to the graveyard. The target one card opponent controls, destroy that target. Simple enough, nothing too crazy. 2400 attack and 1200 defense. Cool, cool, cool. Next up, we have Dodger Dragon, 4-star Wind Dragon with the effect. This card normal summon cannot be negated. After this card is normal summon, your opponent can activate counter trap cards for the rest of that turn. 1900 attack and 1200 defense. Cool, cool, cool. This is another card that isn't on the confirmed list, but it could possibly be in here. Here's a card that should be, that I believe is going to be in the next box, because this box has some Gusto support. And I think this is one of them that's confirmed. Yeah, it is. Contact with Gusto. Target 2 Gusto monsters in your graveyard and 1 card your opponent controls. Shuffle both of those targets into your graveyard, into the deck, and destroy the opponent's target. A really cool card right there. Yeah, so you target 2, and then you target a card. So yeah, you're just shuffling a bunch of stuff. That's kind of what Gustos are all about. So, interesting. Okay, I see. So yeah, you target your 2 monsters in the graveyard, put them back into your deck, and then pop a card in the field. Not bad, not bad. Next up, we have Gusto Corridor. What is it? Yeah, R? Oops, wrong one. Oh, I see. I was really confused. I don't know what I did right. And why is it? Okay, whatever. Gusto Corridor, 3-star Wind Winged Beast with the effect when this card is destroyed an opponent's monster by battle summon graveyard. You can special summon a 1 a Psychic type monster with 1500 less defense from your deck. That is random right there. Is the Gusto Corridor one of the confirmed cards? I'm not too sure, but I'm assuming so. Next up, we have Gusto Thunderbolt. That card actually looks really cool. Card looks really cool right here. So, Gusto Thunderbolt, 4-star Wind Thunder with the effect at the end of the battle phase. This card is in the graveyard because it's destroyed by battle. It says in the graveyard this turn you can banish 1 Gusto monster from your graveyard. Special summon 1 Wind Psychic type monster, 1500 less from your deck. So is there some like Gusto card that's like a Wind monster that's a Psychic, or is this trying to synergize with the possible Esperopa effects? I think we're getting another Esperopa event for whatever reason. I don't know. I have absolutely no clue, but still, this card is pretty neat right there. Yeah, so yeah, at the end of battle phase, this card is destroyed by battle to the graveyard this turn. I think you can also count, yeah, it just says you can banish a Gusto monster from your graveyard, so I think you can banish Thunderbolt to add that Wind Psychic, so pretty cool right here. Now we have Gusto Griffin. Let's see. How do you spell Griffin? Wrong one. So we have Gusto Griffin. This is a 2-star Wind Winged Beast with the effect. This card sets it from your hand to the graveyard. You can special summon a Gusto monster from your deck. You only can use the effect of Gusto Griffin once per turn. Now, I'm not sure which Gusto monster allows you to send, or just whatever effect that you can send from the hand to the graveyard. But overall, that's actually really cool right here, because you can special summon any Gusto monster from your deck. That's actually interesting right there. I wonder if we're going to get a Gusto card. So we got Musto, Oracle of the Gusto. Man, these Gusto cards sound funny. So we got Musto, Oracle of the Gusto. Whatever. I misspelled it, that's why. So yeah, this guy right here is a, oh, so this is the Psychic they're going to search for. Okay. So yeah, this is the Psychic Wind guy they're going to be searching for the most. He's a Wind 4-star Psychic with the effect once per turn you can target a Gusto monster in your graveyard and 1 face-up card on the field, or 1 face-up monster on the field. Shuffle the first target to the deck, and if you do, negate the target's effects until the end phase. And that's a pretty interesting ability right here. I don't know how useful it's going to be, but it stops stuff like Sylvans from targeting you if you're going to play Gusto, so that's really interesting right there. We also have another Psychic Gusto, which is the Sam's Serenity of the Gusto. Psychic with the effect, once per turn you can shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into the main deck and draw a card. So this is some solid draw power right there. And we have 2 Psychic Wind monsters that you guys can see that you can search for with some of these other Gusto monsters, which is really cool. I like that. Next up, we have Windar, Sage of the Gusto. This is going to be another guy. These Gusto cards seem pretty cool so far. I think these might be like a little fun deck that you can definitely play. So yeah, is this how you do it? Yeah, 2 A's, Sage of Gusto. Very cool right there. So, Windar, Sage of Gusto is a 6-star Wind Psychic. With the effect of this card, destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard. You can target a level 3 or lower Gusto monster in graveyard and special summon that target into face-up defense position. So that's pretty cool right here. I wish it was in attack position for that OTK potential, but still, you can special summon stuff, and you can search for this Gusto guy if you need to, so that's really cool right here. Here's another Psychic Gusto right here. There's a lot of Psychic Gustos, so that makes sense, though. There's a lot of different Gustos. Raised Whirlwind of Gusto. So yeah, Whirlwind of the Gusto. As you guys can see, once per turn you can return 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck to target 1 monster your opponent controls and 1 face-up Gusto monster you control. Switch control of both monsters. Huh. That is an interesting effect, and it doesn't say switch them back ever. Like, it does not state that you have to give them back to each other at the end phase. You can straight up just steal someone's monster. Wow. Now, the plus side with this card is that if you somehow don't take it out, if you don't take it out right away, your opponent can play its effect and then switch back to monsters again. But I'm going to assume that most case scenarios are going to be able to just trick up your opponent. It is a 5-star, though. If it was a 4-star, this card would be busted. But it is a 5-star, so you're going to have to use some other methods, either a special summon it or just simply normal summoning it. But yeah, pretty interesting right here. So now we have how many cards do we have left? We have a ton of cards to go through. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. How long have we been recording? Oh, dude, there is so much cards in this thing. You're welcome for the full box review. Let's keep going on it, though. Full of Prophecy. Full of Prophecy. So, Full of Prophecy is a spellcaster. Once per turn, you can send a spellbook spell card from your deck to the graveyard during the end phase of the turn this card is activated. This effect, you contribute this card, special summon the 5 or higher dark spellcaster monster in your deck. Dark Magician? Question mark. And you must have 5 or more spell cards, spellbook spell cards with different names in graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. Explains why this is an end card, but still. Yeah, you can keep sending your spellbook cards from your deck to the graveyard, which is nice. But yeah, it's going to be still a little difficult to even summon cards with Full Prophecy, but it's still there. It's still an effect that you can possibly do. Okay, so we have Strength of Prophecy. Oops. Let's see. Strength of Prophecy. Next up, this one right here. Spellcaster with the effect, once per turn you can shuffle a spellbook spell card from your graveyard to your deck, and then target 1 face-up spellcaster on the field, increase its level and attack by 500. Attack of 1500 and defense 1400. 4-star Fire Monster. Nothing too crazy right there. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have Charity of the Prophecy. Once per turn you can discard a spellbook spell card to target 1 spellcaster monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So that's pretty decent right there. You can get some spellbooks in the graveyard, and then you can add a spellcaster from the graveyard to your hand. We're lenient right here. 1800 attack, 1300 defense, 4-star Wind Monster. Next up, we have Justice of Prophecy right here. A lot of different cards. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think that card's in the game. Don't think any of these cards are in the game yet. Because this whole list just has a ton of just random cards that are from today's event. But Justice of Prophecy is a 3-star Earth spellcaster with the effect during the end phase. If you activated a spellbook spell card previously this turn, you can banish this card from the field to add both 1 5 or higher light or dark spellcaster monster and 1 spellbook card from your deck to your hand. You only can use Justice of Prophecy once per turn. That's a pretty decent searcher right there. But you have to activate a spellbook card previously this turn. And yeah, you gotta banish this card too to do that in the first place. I don't know how valuable this one is, and I'm not sure how many like light or dark spellcast or spellbook monsters we have yet. This is going to be one of them you can search for, Reaper of Prophecy. There you go. Speaking of the devil, here's one that you can search for if you want to. So Reaper Prophecy is a 6-star dark. When this card's normal or special summon, you can activate this effect. Apply as many effects as possible based on the number of spellbook cards with different names in your graveyard. You only can use the effect of Reaper of Prophecy once per turn. So if you have 3 or more spellbook cards, this card gains 600 attack. If you have 4 or more, add a spellbook card from your deck to your hand. And if you have 5 or more, you can special summon a 5 or higher dark spellcaster monster from your deck. So you could probably special summon another Reaper of Prophecy. And then you can just keep, you can just fill up the board with Reaper of Prophecy if I'm reading this right. If you have 5 or more, you can summon it, activate this effect, as many effects as possible. Reaper of Prophecy, if you start popping off with this, you can get 3 of these guys on the board, play Beatdown. Oh baby, that's gonna be a deadly. But see, the problem is it's gonna be too difficult to pull off a combo like that. And there's a lot of other decks that can pull like a board like that easier, but still, it sounds like a really cool thing to mess around with. Next up, we have Prophecy and Destroy. This is a 6-star dark spellcaster. With the effect, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 3 spellbook spell cards from your graveyard and special summon this card from your graveyard. 2,500 attack and 1,200 defense. Wheel of Prophecy. This is an 8-star dark monster that we're gonna have to search up. Look, a lot of these Prophecy cards. So yeah, this is, I already said it's a dark, it's a spellcaster. When this card's special summoned by the effect of a spellcaster type monster, you can target any number of your banished spellbook spell cards, shuffle them to your deck, and if you do, return your other banished spellbook cards, spell cards to your graveyard. You only can use the effect of Wheel of Prophecy once per turn. Nothing too crazy right there. 2,700 attack and 1,700 defense. Okay, so next up we have Soldier Dragons. I don't know, this might be in the box. Once per turn, you can your opponent can activate the spell arc effect. Quick effect, you can special summon level 2 or lower dragon type monster from your deck. 700 attack and 800 defense real quick. Yep, okay, next card is Lion Alligator. This is a 4-star water reptile with the effect. If you control a reptile monster other than this card, if a reptile monster you control attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. 1,900 attack and 200 defense. Pretty simple right here. Now, all these cards that we're going to be looking into real quick. Actually, no, this one's not in here. Tricky Spell 4. Let's go talk about this one real quick. Tricky Spell 4. Okay, so Tricky Spell 4 is in a quick play spell. Send 1 face of Tricky monster you control to the graveyard. Special summon Tricky tokens. With Spellcaster win 5, 2,000 attack, 1,200 defense. In defense position equal to the number of monsters your opponent controls. Tricky tokens cannot declare an attack though. Still, this does count as a special summon, so you can potentially pop off and do some tribute summon shenanigans with Tricky Spell 4. But it's going to be a little difficult to do because you still got to discard a card to summon the Tricky, and then your opponent needs to have a lot of monsters in the field in order to utilize Tricky Spell number 4. So there's a reason why it's an end card, but overall, nothing too crazy. So I think most of these cards we already have in the game right now. So this card is a 45 reward. I believe Cold Feet is a card from the newest event. If you guys want, you can read that card right there though, but I recognize Cold Feet. Skill Blue Magician. I think that's going to be about it. This was a long video. 40 minutes long. Man, I wasn't expecting that, but we're scrolling through these cards. These are all like cards from the newest event. I don't think these guys are. I'm not too sure. I don't know. The rest of these cards though, we're not going to really look into too much right now. You guys can go pause and read these cards real quick. This card looks kind of cool, but still, I don't know. That's gonna be it for today's Duel Links video, though. This was like a 40-minute Duel Links video, so if you guys enjoyed this video and you watched through the whole way and you haven't already, be sure to hit that smash like button down below. If there's some weird like interrupts throughout this recordings, because this pretty much took an hour long for me. Holy crap, this was a long box. But yeah, be sure to smash the like button down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because I always do these early box reviews before the box gets officially announced, so be sure to do that. And if you guys want, you guys can join my Discord, link in the description down below. Discord is where I post my data mines before I make a video on it, so you guys can get even earlier look at these new data mines simply by joining my Discord. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching to the end of this video. I'm Watt007. See you later.